Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Miracle Guidance. I'm your host, Dr. Carmen Harra. So happy to be with you tonight and every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. right here on OMTimes Radio. The topic tonight, everyday solutions, how to overcome any problem, any pain, any suffering. Now, the most complicated situation often have the simplest solution. Sometimes we become so caught up in our trouble that we can't imagine that the outcome, we can't imagine what the outcome will be. When we experience a crisis, especially when we experience a financial crisis, when we experience a sickness or we lose someone we love, we feel ourselves in the darkness and trying to find ways out of that pain, out of that dilemma, out of that suffering. In such moment of distress, we need the divine guidance. We need to move in the right direction. So that's why tonight I said, let me take your calls. Let me offering you those tailored strategies to conquer whatever challenges you might be facing. So for that reason, I want you to dial in to 202-570-7057, and my wonderful producer, Christopher, will connect you with me, and we will talk to find solutions and way to overcome everything you've experiencing, every challenge you've experiencing. And so that's why tonight I said, well, there's always a solution, probably to the most complicated situations. Reality is actually that the most complicated situations sometimes have the simplest solution. Trust me when I say there are ways out of anything. Even the most complex issues are easy sometimes to be resolved because everything is rectifiable. For every question on the outside, there is an answer in the inside. So consider that no lock is made without a key. Simply, there is no problem without a solution. So that's my conclusion. I want you to understand that you always have the power to do two things. And those two things are, number one, elevate your perception and choose to see things in a different way. And number two, use all resources available for you to try to repair the problem. These are the foundations of eradicating problems. First, when you elevate your perception, you expand your vision and you are able to see beyond the problem. Imagine like you climbing high above a mountain, and in front of you, you will see what lies on the other side. You will have the full perspective of everything. And second of all, when you decide to take action, you take control over the problem. In many cases in life, we are not actually taking control of problems. We let the problems take control of us. But you need to take your power back. We spoke about this on the show so many times. And you don't allow the problem to overwhelm you. You stand up to the challenge and confront it without negative emotion, without fear. This grants you control over anything in life. When you overwhelm with negative feelings, then you can see, you can act, you can project anything. You don't have the right perception. I read a quote sometimes, and I always remember that quote that said, most of the problem in life are because of two reasons. We act without thinking, or we keep thinking without acting. And I found that this quote is so true. I don't even know if somebody wrote this quote. It is just an anonymous quote. Either you do something that goes wrong because you don't think through things, or we get stuck in a problem because we keep thinking about the action we need to take to resolve the problem without actually taking it. So let's change that tonight. For a second, let's project things differently. Let's use all these strategies that I'm going to give you to solve problems, because you deserve to live without burdens. You deserve to wake up and feel that divine joy, that there is no frustration, no man-made frustration. Look at the world that we're living in, that is, everything is such a suffering. Talking about frustration. What is our birthright? To feel free, to enjoy, to be happy. The way I see life is a series of tests that we are given to solve. And the first step to passing our test is to use wisdom. Unfortunately, we live in a society that places much emphasis on information and almost no significance, no importance on wisdom. Where does this leave us when we experience a personal crisis or a global one that we are facing right now? Where's the wisdom of everything we are going through? We might know how to maintain a social media page. We know how to drive cars. We know how to do our taxes. But do we know how to maintain a healthy love relationship? Do we know how to give our body what it needs? Do we know how to make decisions based on the ability of the brain called intuition? We don't, because these answers lie within. Everything that's within you sometimes tend to ignore. And they have very little to do with the outside world. Now, wisdom doesn't stem from information that has external opinions or external factors. We can influence any situation simply by tapping into the knowledge that dwells within our higher selves, where we are actually connected to the divine. We are connected to God. This means that whatever is thrown at us, we can overcome. It's true. Remember that our greatest inspiration can come during a moment of desperation. So when you're desperate, actually, you are forced to find those resources, that inspiration within yourself. And I'm going to talk to you about, and then I'm going to take your calls, because I know I have some people already calling me, and I'm always so excited to talk to you. So I'm going to talk to Coip, then I think I'm going to talk to Perry, and see who else is calling me, 202-570-7057. Let's dissect a little bit your way of understanding how to solve your major challenges, because there are major challenges. I'm going to do a show on the 12 major challenges of life in the next shows, because I used to discuss this at one conference at Hay House, and I can do it. And I had a very large audience, and one day it came back to me that this is a topic I haven't discussed with you on the radio for a while, so I want to bring this back. But coming back to the challenges and using the three wisdoms when we experience a big problem. And the number one is the wisdom of personal power. And it's normal to feel powerless if something terrible happens to you. But the wisdom of personal power reminds you that you are born shining light with a unique bright light. And each of us is inherently powerful. And every individual possesses power unique to him or to her. Don't think someone is more powerful than you are within yourself, because that's wrong. But many of us haven't yet figured out what it is. That's one of the reasons that some people, they shine brighter because they've been accessing their power, and some people haven't. You may feel somehow unworthy. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, but you may feel unworthy at times and unable to surpass self-imposed barriers. When this happens, you actually must recognize your powers, your inherent powers, and use them. Are you good at resolving, creating, inventing, and so many other things? So once you discover your natural talents, you can utilize them to solve your problems. So this is the number one wisdom in life, the wisdom of personal power. So if you're in a situation when you lost your job, you lost your home, when you go through things like this, access what's within you. Use that wisdom of personal power, and you will be so, so I don't find the right word, so shocked to see that something that lies within you, you never knew is there. Now, the second one is the wisdom of forgiveness. And everybody talks about forgive, which in Greek means to detach. But the wisdom of forgiveness is to forgive those who have hurt you while you also forgive yourself, which means you detach from those who hurt you, detach from the harm that you might cause on yourself. Only in this way you can truly remove yourself from the pain and the pressure of the past, and you forego situations that impede you in succeeding. In fact, forgiveness is a grace. It's a grace that can save your life, especially when you harbor anger, resentment, bitterness, that will all translate into physical diseases. So letting this negative emotion go out as soon as they come in, so that they never become stuck within you, is the best way to reach a healthy emotional flux. Important, very important. If you want to become unblocked, unburdened, then forgive. Forgive. Forgive doesn't necessarily mean, I have to forgive a person who cheated on me. I have to forgive somebody who was stealing my money. I have to forgive. You have to detach from that. That's what forgiveness is all about. Removing yourself so you don't get stuck in that experience. That's also the third wisdom, is the wisdom of endurance. Endurance, when something bad happens, you might want to give up right away. But the wisdom of endurance reminds you that we possess a remarkable quality called resilience. We are incredibly enduring being able to withstand so much more than we can imagine. By relying on this wisdom, we can gather our true strength in the toughest trials. Even if we suffer a crisis of the worst kind, endurance sees us through the storm. Remind yourself that you're stronger than any misfortune. You are able to overcome any challenges. The most important thing to remember is that your problems are purposeful, not accidental. They are given not to knock you down, but to rebuild you tougher than ever before. So these are the things that you should always remember. And always, believe that the right kind of speech can empower you through any ordeal. Any ordeal. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 affirmations that I want you to repeat with me. My pain is temporary. It's not part of my future. My problem is teaching me a necessary lesson. Through this hard time, I'm learning, evolving, improving. I have the power to turn this setback into victory. My path is clear. I know exactly what I must do from now on. I am sustained by people who support me through anything and love me unconditionally. My suffering is heard by the universe. I will be rewarded with joy. I will resurface after this storm stronger and better than ever. Determination and ambition surge through me. I am unstoppable. An unexpected blessing is on its way to me. I welcome it with open arms. So these are the words that I want you to use. And use your own words just to empower yourself when you go through a hard time. And as I said, this is a calling show, so I'm going to go and take your calls after a very short break. And then I'm going to go to Koi and talk to her. Thank you, Koi, for patiently waiting for me. And I'll be with you in a second. I'll take a very short break. I'm Carmen Harra on OMTime Radio. Don't go anywhere, please.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
COVID-19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
If you're feeling increasingly lonely right now, you're not alone. It's totally normal. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, connecting virtually with friends and family still gives you a chance to interact with people and may help raise your spirits. Join a virtual book club, set up group text chats, or online video coffee breaks with coworkers.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
And I'm back tonight on OMTime Radio with everyday solutions, how to overcome any problem, any suffering, any pain. I'm going to go to Koi. Hi, my lovely Koi. How are you, my dear?
Hi, Carmen. I'm here.
Hi, hi, my angel.
How are you?
How are you, my dear?
I'm holding on. Thank you for asking.
I can hear you very well. If you can speak a little bit louder.
Thank you. I'm
Just a
here.
little bit louder.
I'm here.
Okay, I can hear you better. So what's going on with you, my love?
Carmen?
Yeah.
I'm here.
So tell me a little bit what happened.
My brother, I've spoken to you about him a few times.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling that
yeah, you had a premonition that something bad is going to happen to you. No, he's not going to make it. I remember you saying that.
yes, and it
So, but
happened.
what really happened to him?
He I sent you know how you can send the police for a welfare check on him, and I sent them, and I've been doing that for the past 4 months.
Right,
and,
I remember, yeah.
And he's been, found unresponsive and things of that nature. But this time he passed away in a home, at home.
Why? What was the reason?
I asked that, and you know, I didn't get a definitive answer other than, you know, the diabetes and the high blood pressure, because his diabetes, his number
So
would,
the cause of the death was a stroke or a
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Now I've seen cases like this. I've seen numerous cases because the reality is if diabetes is really bad, it can lead to a massive stroke. You know, I've heard of cases people dying in their homes if they live alone. You know,
Yes, he does belong.
but was this diabetes not kept under control? He was not taking anything to control the diabetes.
He was on insulin, but because of all of those mini strokes, he was his memory started going. So he would think that he took his medicine, or he would take his medicine, forget it, and take it again. And his body started failing him. His body started failing. He started not being able to get up and walk, and
Right.
His body was acting more like, you know, someone that was maybe in their 90s, and
Right.
and he was too young for this. So I feel
How
also,
old was
Carmen,
he? In his 60s?
he was 62.
Very young, yeah, very young.
But Carmen, I need help. I keep feeling like he just didn't want to be here. I feel like he just kept trying to go over, and then this time he succeeded. I don't know how else to put
Yeah,
it.
because he wanted to free himself. He was probably suffering from a form of depression, which is
Yes,
was motivated by everything going on in his life. Nobody wants to live with pain. And for somebody to
no,
suffer like this, being released and being free, and it's a celebration, you know. That this might
yes,
sound crazy, and yet, you know, nobody wants to suffer. When our body is failing, we don't want to be in the body. The blessing is actually is to be able to let go, because we all are temporary in this world. This is the place where we learn, we evolve, you know. My philosophy was always that we were born to be immortal. You know, we were supposed
yes,
to live in
yes,
paradise. We were supposed to
yes,
be here forever. But something in our program, it's almost like at some point in our evolution, we were programmed to die. You know, that's why we talk about the sin, the original sin, and something, that program that shift the trajectory of humanity. That program is very destructive. You see, the world we are living in that is so self-destructive. Everything that we see right now, with the war, with the fact that we created a virus because we created it, you know, we spread it everywhere. It's just crazy. It's something within ourselves, a tendency to die, to kill, to a tendency towards negativity, disaster. It's almost like we fuel into it. It's so dramatic, but it's a reality of our existence through centuries. And we're not able to overcome that. In spite, I mean, we create this virtual world with technologies and everything, but within ourselves, you know, we haven't been really evolving too much. We seem the same level of understanding and perception like thousands of years ago. No change at the level of the thoughts of the, you know. We did, you know, increase our lifespan a little bit lately, but still, you know, how are we gonna change, you know, our action? How can we correct all these karmic imprints at the cellular level that exist through centuries? So I don't want to go into a philosophy about this, but my philosophy started by talking about your brother. Your brother is actually free. And you're gonna believe me, I see him entering the door. Was he a big guy?
yes.
Yeah, I see this big guy entering the door of a place where I'm doing the show and looking at me and said, "Tell her I'm so happy. And tell her that I'm with my mom." So
Oh,
does that make sense?
yes.
Yeah.
Because
He
when
said
she passed, go ahead.
they found each other and he talks and he says month of May was the month when I was supposed to go. I knew it. She said he knew it. So in other words, for him, this is something that he lived in the last 2 years, especially in the last 6 months, with a
Yes,
sense of he's ready. And you
yes,
also knew. That's why for a number of months, we used to say that we know when we go, at least
mhm,
6 months before. And you, because you're so connected to him and you care about him so much, and you had this karmic connection from other lives with him, you also
yes,
knew. So in the last number of months, you were constantly trying to be in touch with him. You're always trying to check on him because you also had this premonition, the
yes.
premonition that something is going to happen.
I
So
knew it.
you
I
felt
knew
it.
it that week. I knew last week, and I heard it, and I knew
That's why you
definitely.
checked on him. Look at the fact how you figure it out by constantly sending the police. You knew in your heart that this is going to happen. In a way, you were ready. In a way, you were
Yeah,
ready for this. In a way, this might sound crazy. In a way, you were sort of looking forward for this to happen already because you acknowledge this is going to be better for him. And
absolutely correct.
yeah, I remember when you told me on the radio when we last spoke that you acknowledged he was ready, you acknowledged he wanted to go, you acknowledge all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, is there any other message? I'm happy that he's happy, and I'm happy that he found he they met up with each other. Is there any other message?
He gives me a name like Papa Joe or Joe. What is that?
I don't know. Are they
Joe.
speaking in English? Are they speaking
Sorry?
in English? Are they speaking in English?
Not necessarily, no.
No, that's what
Not
I
in
thought.
English.
Yeah,
Not in
that's what I
English,
thought.
but he gives me the sound of a Joe J name. So that I'm hearing. So he's referring to something. Does this make
Okay.
sense to you? And he talks about 14th of this month. What are you planning on the 14th of this month?
Oh boy, he might he might be planning his celebration of life on the 14th. He might be. That's probably what he wants.
Yes, so
That's probably what he wants.
there's a very clear indication of the 14th of this month. Like you watch for that day. And he also
I
said June 2nd, 14th of May, June 2nd. He said he's going to make you a big surprise. There's definitely something he's preparing for you, or he's trying to give you a surprise till September. See what's coming from him. He said he wants to make you acknowledge that he is in touch with you. Are they speaking Chinese? What language is this?
the language they're speaking is called Oradua. It's an
Yeah,
ancient language.
it's a language that I cannot figure it out what it is. Yeah,
Yes, it's ancient. I know which one it is.
yeah,
But they can send you images and stuff. So May
yeah.
14th and June 2nd.
So he gives indication. He also sent me. He said that he will. He said, "I will take care of you. I will help you. I will take care of you." Does that also make sense?
Yes,
He said, "You will see how much I'll help you. You will. you'll become aware of his, how should I say, enormous desire to help, to bring you something that you've been missing. I don't know if this is financial or something, but there's definitely like a miracle. He's doing a miracle for you. He said one of your wish will come through. One of your wish will come through. And
Yes.
it's interesting, he shows me a forest. And he said near your home, it shows me trees. Do you go back when you were young? Where is this tree forest area? What is it?
The Catskill Mountain.
Right, yeah, that's what he's showing me. He said, remember those moments we had together.
Yes.
So he talks with so much love about those moments. Those incredible moments that you guys had together. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Right.
It does.
He said he's happy, and this is something he wants you. He said he wants you to accept. So he wants you to accept the fact that he's not here. She said, you didn't want to see me like this.
No, I didn't.
No, and he said, I will come back to you. And he shows me an R name. I don't know what he's trying to say. He said, I will come back to you in dreams. I will be very present in your dreams. It's going to be beautiful.
Oh.
You will have amazing dreams. Please call me back and let me know about those dreams.
I will definitely call you back and let you know about May 14th, June 2nd, about...
And he shows me a house near, again, a mountain, trees, with a lot of trees. Sorry?
It's
right.
It's the Catskill Mountain, upstate
but it
New
looks
York.
like house has a lot of wood. Does that wood in it, or where is the wood? Was inside a lot of wood inside the house?
No, it was out. It was around the house. Yes.
Okay, a lot of wood. I see. Yeah. He said you will either write about this or try to somehow put all those memories together. Have you thought about honoring his life on earth in a way?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I'm listening.
I wanted I'm planning like a celebration of life, but it's going to be, everybody has to be dressed up because he loved looking nice every day.
Okay, so then that's what this is.
And
there's a big celebration. He's waiting, he's looking forward to that celebration.
I'm requesting that everybody dress in either after 5 or, party wear. And it's because he loves a good party. He loves dancing at the party.
Your brother was talking to a man who was a shaman. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't know about that.
And he shows me a shaman, a dark-haired man who had a very ancient soul and lived somewhere also in an area with a lot of mountain. Very, very interesting person. And he was in touch with this man, and this man was letting him know how to process the passing, was helping him. He said he never necessarily told you too much about this man.
No, he didn't.
But this man looked like almost like an Indian, like a Native American, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. I clearly see the man he's talking about. He said, somewhere in my home there is a note about this man. So go and check what is he referring to.
I'm going there. Actually, I'm going to his home on Thursday to help clean up and organize stuff.
You will find interesting stuff. You will acknowledge something you never thought. It's so interesting. It's fascinating, the conversation I'm having with him. Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. All I can tell you, he's very happy. He said, I feel very relieved. I feel so much better. It's so different. This is amazing for me. He said, this is the kind of freedom I always wanted lately. I didn't want to be trapped anymore.
Yes, that's
I
true.
was saved. I was saved.
Yes, and that's what I got. That's why I'm not so overcome.
No, don't be. No, don't be. You know that there are other civilized, like for instance, the Chinese people, when somebody is born, they cry. When somebody dies, they laugh and they celebrate. Because actually it's a release of a soul. The soul comes in this world to experience also a lot of karmic situation and probably not a lot of suffering, you know?
Yes.
So when you free yourself and you went through this journey and you free yourself and reach out the divine world, the eternity, the world of that unknown universe that is so perfect, then there is a real reason to celebrate.
I have a question too.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I used to tell you about Michael and how he, you know, the man that I was interested in, and how, you know, I just kind of, I haven't been in touch with him because he was going through stuff. Do you know he showed up? He showed up, and he came and he said, he came at the right time. He said, I'm going to help you. And he's already like handled stuff with me. He's just, all of a sudden he's here again. And I know that had to do, I have a feeling it had to do with, you know, God and my brother.
Oh, definitely with your brother, because your brother keeps on mentioning having surprises and bringing a lot of good into your life, and this is one of the elements of balance and stability that you definitely need, you know.
Yeah, because he said he didn't want me alone, and I am alone.
And you're not gonna be. You're not gonna be. So you start a new chapter in the book of your life. A chapter is closing, and through his passing, but he's also opening a big wide door for you. So step through that door and allow all the good that's coming to you, because he's sending all his blessing.
Oh, I'm so thankful, and Carmen, we grew up in a foster family, and we were always told we were not any good, and your own mother didn't want you, and we were dumb and stupid and ugly, and the best part of us ran down our mother's legs. I never heard anything so nasty, and they now that he's passed, they are they're not even communicating. And I didn't expect for them to communicate with me. I'm handling all of this. I'm handling all of this by myself, with the exception of Michael. Very good?
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I going to have the support? Am I going to still have the support of Michael and my best friend?
Absolutely. And, you're going to have all the support of Michael, 100%. Definitely, yeah.
So do you think he just came in for this particular reason and then he'll be gone?
No. He's not going to be gone.
Okay.
No, definitely not going to be gone. He didn't come to be gone. You understand? He came to stay. So
So
just
he
don't
made a
project that. What?
he made a decision to stay then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So he's here to help me, and I'm telling you, Carmen, it's something I've never experienced before, and to be still. I know I'm not alone, and I have heavenly help. It's
Right.
but I'm in the physical world, and I'm having a human experience, and
Right.
it's a rough thing to go through this. I
It's
don't have the
very
words.
difficult.
It I don't know how to
Extremely
navigate
difficult.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how to navigate it. It's very overwhelming.
Right.
The
Right.
experiences, not that he passed, because I did not want
Mhm.
him to. I didn't want him to suffer anymore. I
Mhm.
didn't want him to
Mhm.
not feel loved anymore.
Right.
I didn't want him to go through that anymore. I just really
Right.
didn't.
No, I agree. No, this was God listens to all his prayers because he was praying to be released, so that he doesn't suffer anymore. You don't
Yes,
want to be in a body that had all these problems, all the strokes and diabetes to a point of depending on insulin, not being able to move, not being able to think straight. He didn't enjoy life. Life was a terror for him.
yes. It became that way. Yes.
It
In the
became
past
that
four
way.
months,
Yeah.
yeah, past 4 months
Right.
have been
And when
horrible.
he started to get worse, 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 all he wanted to be free.
Yes,
And God granted this wish.
yes. And since you know the foster mother that we had, he missed her when she passed. He really never ever was the same after she passed.
Right.
And I knew that he wanted to go. I knew it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. No, this is all good. I'm very happy. All good.
Thank you, Carmen. I knew that I could trust in you, and because I I I, I always like you, and I love to hear you speak, and I love um what you're teaching, and what you're doing here on earth is a tough job, and it's almost thankless, but there are moments of pure joy and love. And I want to thank you for doing this for us and for me.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too, Carmen.
Thank you for. I'm really sorry, that you're going through this because I know it's extremely painful no matter what. But I want you to know that this is happening, and it's not bad. It's actually something good because he was suffering, and you see him in dreams, and he's gonna come to you and he's gonna tell you, and you will feel relieved for him.
Yes, I already
Nobody
feel
should
relief.
be living
Yeah,
in a body that doesn't help anymore. Nobody should suffer.
right.
So God
Because
loved
he
him,
was
took
still
him from
active.
here, took him from
Hmm.
suffering.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy
Yeah,
about that because
yeah,
that's what I felt, and you just confirmed it for me. Plus, you gave
right,
me some more info. You gave me some more
right.
info. I have a question. Did he has he met our birth father yet?
Not yet. No. He
Not
said
yet.
it's gonna take a bit of time to meet a lot of people. He said, I'm looking for a lot of people.
Oh
I'm
yes, he
trying
is.
to meet a lot of people on the other side.
Yes, he is.
So he's looking to meet uh, different people that he hasn't seen in a long, long, long time.
Yes,
He said,
that's
I'm
true.
looking for that. He said, I have
More
a lot to do here. But he said for a number of weeks from now on, I will
Yes.
continue to be in touch with you. I'll continue to come. You'll feel my presence. You'll even feel me like I'm there in the home. He
Yes.
said, it's going to be very interesting. Yeah.
It has felt him once already. It felt like he came towards me at my back while I was at his house last Friday. And I turned around and looked to actually see him because I felt the pressure.
Right.
And I heard him moving around in the kitchen. And I was in the living room.
Right. Yeah. All I can tell you is that this is all good, as much as it is tragic, but you will be able to overcome, and you'll be very happy that he's free, and you'll have amazing dreams with him. He said he will come in dreams. He said, and you'll remember a lot of the things that happened between you when you were young. So that you know that, yeah.
Everything you're saying, Carmen, everything that you have said is exactly on point. Exactly on point. And I'm not that you need to know that, but I'm just so everybody else can know that you are on point. Thank you so very much. I appreciate
Thank you, my love. So relax. Light a candle. The light is so interesting. The candles.
Yes.
They are so well received in the other dimension.
Yes.
They have the flame of the candle has no darkness, only pure light in it. It's so beautiful. Yes. So try to light the candle for him. He needs that light right now. And remember, 40 days since the moment he passed, he's in between the two worlds. So you may feel his presence for 40 days. And if there are mirrors in his house, one of the traditions at the dawn of time says, cover the mirrors. He's going to see himself in the mirror,
Oh, okay. I will do that.
So cover the mirrors so he doesn't feel scared. Put a glass of water for him. They still for 40 days try to, because the waves in the brain continue to work. In other words, the brain for another 40 days after the body is considered clinically dead, like the death took place.
Yeah.
But still in the brain, there's still activity. It's so fascinating. So the ancient knew about that. In other cultures, they never buried the body for another 40 days.
Right.
Because they allowing, the brain, to fully disconnect those electromagnetic waves that the brain creates in the connection with the outside world. So that's why he still will want to eat. He still will want to drink. He still will try for 40 days to do what he used to do. He will look for things. Don't be surprised if you're going to see things moved in the house and stories like this, Don't be surprised. You're such an evolved soul. So look for all kinds of signs that he's going to give you. He will give you a lot of signs.
Yes, he will.
Okay, my love. I love you. And feel free to call me anytime you want to talk. If you have any interesting experiences, I'm here waiting for you. Okay, my love.
Thank you so much. I feel so much better.
Okay, my beautiful. I love you. I love you so much.
I love you too.
And I don't know if my producer considered to take a short break, and then we're going to go to the end of the show. We can do that if he thinks that's possible.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site. but a spiritual dating site with a purpose to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
And I'm back, and tonight I dedicate the show to how to overcome any problem. And I wanted to spend a lot of time with Coy, who just lost a wonderful brother. And that's one of those great situations in life, great challenges that we can go through. And it's extremely difficult and painful to overcome something like this. But at the end of the show, I'm coming at the end of the show in 4 or 5 minutes. I would love to talk to you about the strategies to solve problems. And I'm going to go briefly to them just to finalize the idea of the show. And one of the number one strategy is to see beyond the moment. Because seeing beyond the moment in time takes a lot of wisdom. And after all, we all live in the present. And we are very affected by what's happening right now. And look what's happening in the world. So by projecting things beyond the future, it's actually our saving grace, especially during misfortune. You may be hurting today, but in an unexpected way, that goes away because everything is temporary. So everything eventually finds peace. And you will too, sometimes when you least expect, and oftentimes better than you expect. So that's why ask yourself, what is the greater purpose of this painful moment? What am I really learning? See every obstacle that as opportunities for personal growth. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, allow reality to set in, and understand not only the scope of what is happening, but also the reason behind what is happening. That is so significant to do when you go to a hard time. Don't let yourself be overwhelmed with the pain of a reality. Envision always the best possible outcome. So don't be afraid to imagine a solution to your every moment problem. This is your starting point to reaching this solution. So when you see past the worries of the moment, you regain hope, the hope that this will pass and lead to a brand new chapter of your life. And second of all, don't get attached. As we said, problems aren't meant to be permanent. Why? We often tend to make them permanent. Why do people experience the same long life problem? Because they tend to hold on to their dilemmas, to their pain, constantly referring to those issues in their mind. So they worry about the same things over and over again. So don't worry because that's not going to resolve the problem. And you might say, well, it's easy to say but hard to do. But sometimes may be very relevant in the real world to continue to acknowledge the problem but not to be obsessed about it, and to go beyond. The secret is getting rid of your problem by not attaching to the problem. So change the pattern of thinking. When you find yourself thinking something negative, interrupt your thoughts. If you keep doing this, you will train your brain to forget about the old destructive thought and welcome a new, more positive train of thought. So release your problem and focus on the brighter aspect of your reality. And don't be afraid, because fear is a magnet for problem. So remember, these are the issues that I want you to consider to resolve your karma, to return to the origin that created a problem, and try something you haven't tried before in a positive way. Replace everything with positive action. I'm Dr. Carmen Harra on OMTime Radio. I'll be with you next week on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on OMTime Radio. Meanwhile, be blessed and have a wonderful week. God bless you.